All right. Hi, everybody. Good evening for those of you who are watching in Asia. And those of you who are watching in Europe, it's a good afternoon. And for those in the US, it's very, very early in the morning. But thank you so much for those who are here joining us bright and early. This is actually only our second SAXO live stream session. So we're really excited. We love to be talking about gear and inviting the people behind our favorite companies to come on the show and talk more saxophone gear. And hope you guys will get a chance to have your to have your questions answered as well. So I'm sure you guys know who our special guest is today, all the way from France. And yeah, we're just probably just going to wait like a minute or so for more people to join us. If you guys are watching right now, don't forget to share this link. If you're watching on Facebook, you can join us on the YouTube link that is above as well. So the YouTube quality is a lot better. You can adjust and change the quality you want to watch this video in. So we're really excited. Our special guest today, is behind one of the hottest mouthpiece companies right now. And I have all my saxophones laid out today. I rarely bring out all my saxophones, but today I'm making an exception. I have my soprano, alto, tenor, and behind me I have a lot of the other models which we're going to slowly play through as well. And let me see if I can say hi to anyone who's watching here already. Yeah, and if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot more videos, mouthpiece comparisons, saxophone comparisons. So we love to be able to share. And yeah, for those of you who are new to our shop, SAXO, we are based in Singapore, but we sell online as well. So we ship products all over the world, but mainly establishing ourselves here in Asia. We are really fortunate, being about towards end of this year will be 3 years in the business. We are a young company, but we are really passionate about what we do, and we just love to be able to bring in the best brands for you. And for the company today, SYOS, all the way from France, we just got their first batch in probably late last week. So it's been really new, and we've been selling them right away already. So I know a lot of you are excited. So do say hi in the comments. I know it's a work day. Most of you have started work already. So thank you for those who are joining us. And yeah, I think without further ado, I'm going to introduce my very, very special guest. And let me pull her up. All right. Hi, and we have Pauline all the way from Paris, France. How are you, Pauline?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
No, very happy to be, to have you here, taking time out of your busy schedule. So how has everything been in France the past few months?
I think like everywhere else in the world, it has been such a challenging time, but yeah, now we are all back to we had to stop shipping our products because it was too complicated, and it was completely locked down in France. So during almost 2 months, but now we are back in business, and everything is starting to go back to normal in France. We even have some new concerts, and the bars and restaurants are open. So it seems okay now.
Okay, yeah. I think France was really one of the first countries that locked down immediately, because we deal with Selma Paris as well. So we definitely had a lot of issues, getting stock from them. So during the period where, there was a lockdown for about, 1 to 2 months, what were you guys busy with at the company?
So actually, we worked a lot during the lockdown because we had a lot of projects going on. So we continue to make a lot of different things on the social media. For example, we launched some challenges in Instagram, and it worked really great. we had a lot of people like doing the challenges, and it was really nice. It was also a good time to just stop and think about what we will do in the future. So we also worked on new products. So we may have some new products coming soon too. We took a lot of time to also talk with our artists and see what we could do to help them during those challenging times. So we also we also put together a page on our website where you can have lessons. You can ask for lessons with one of our artists. So it's also a way to give them a little money during the time where they don't have any gigs. So yeah, we did a lot of things like that.
Yeah, I think I saw that teaching page, which was
Yeah.
really, really nice initiative. I'm sure a lot of the musicians appreciated that. And yeah, I think that's the sign of a great company, because for most people they will say, okay, either just take a holiday, or just give up, because it's not easy for any company, being forced to shut down. And I'm sure you had many dealers around the world, asking you for product also, but you won't be able to fulfill. So maybe you can share with us the beginnings of SYOS. How did this idea come about, and when did it start?
So it started in 2014 actually. So I have a PhD in acoustics, and after my PhD, I did my PhD in Paris. It's at IRCAM, maybe it's a famous laboratory for research. It was created by Pierre Boulez, the compositor, and after that I went to Canada. I had a postdoc research project in McGill University in Montreal, and it was a research project on the saxophone mouthpiece actually. So I had to study the acoustics of the mouthpiece, and we were actually trying to figure out the link between the geometry of the mouthpiece and the sound and the playing characteristics of the instrument. So I worked like 1 year on that project, and at some point, so I was doing acoustic simulation on the computer, and at some point I wanted to compare those results to what musician would say about the mouthpiece. So we decided to use 3D printing to make the mouthpieces in order to be sure that we had the exact same geometry that the one I was studying, and make them and make the musician try them. So we use 3D printing, and when I made musician try, they were they liked them, and some of them asked me, "Oh, where can we buy that?" And so I was like, "Oh, really? You want to buy that?" I was surprised. I was I didn't expect that someone would want to buy something from my research project. So so that was the first step. And after that, I was supposed to go to Mexico. I had another research project on acoustic also, and but I had to go back to France for like family issues, and so I was in France, and I had no job, and I had that idea in my mind, and I say, yeah, why not? Why not trying that? And that's where I started. So I started alone, and like I worked like 1.5 year alone, and then I met Maxime, and then we started the company together. So the real the official date, birthday of SYOS is on the 29th of August in 2016. So actually it's also Charlie Parker's birthday on the 29th of August. So yeah.
Wow, which is coming up real soon.
Yeah, like the centenary. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So, and that's an incredible story. And after interviewing a lot of people, I realized like a lot of success usually comes from just, you know, wanting to serve a need. Like, you mentioned like players tried your mouthpieces and started asking you if they could buy it. I think that's always a good sign, that people like what you're doing. So have you always been interested in mouthpiece acoustics, or was it, in your only on the postgrad, you know period?
Yeah, only after actually. I during my PhD, I was more interested in the main instruments. I was actually doing I was working on a software, so we developed a software that could predict the playing characteristics of the instrument just before building it. So it was meant to be used by some instrument makers, just to prevent them from doing like a lot of prototypes. So you can just put the geometry and then make some calculus, and then you can see if the instrument will be in tune, and some information like that. And yeah, so then so during those time I was focusing mainly on the rest of the instrument. I also worked on the influence of the saxophone, the resonators on the pads in the saxophone. So that was also another study I did. And then I only started working on the mouthpiece when I was in Canada.
Nice. Wow. That's were you always a musician from young, involved in
Yes. Yeah, so the funny part is that I'm a flute player actually, but
Okay,
and
okay.
I started playing music when I was 6 years old, and I've always played, and I play a lot of instrument. I play some bass guitar, and
Nice.
some saxophone, but that's not my main
Yeah, I
instrument.
was just I was just going to ask. I'm sure
Yeah.
now you might be venturing a bit into this. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a bit more. That first 1.5 years, when you were by yourself experimenting, what did that 1.5 years look like?
It's something like it's kind of crazy. Like I started by interviewing a lot of saxophone players just to be sure that or just to understand their needs, and what I could do to help them. And then actually I spent a lot of time trying to find someone to work with me, but it was not that easy, because so usually people the main advice when you start a company is to find someone to work with you that is like complementary. So if I
Yeah.
was like the tech person, so I was looking for like the business guy, and but when I was looking for a business guy, like they all looked at me like, what? Like mouthpieces, really? There is no market for that. So yeah, like the business guys that didn't really want to work on that project. So then I spent a lot of time trying to find people, and since I had nothing really in my hands, like nobody was really interested, so I just decided after a while to just do everything by myself. So I started to learn how to use the softwares, like the design software, to design my own mouthpieces. Then I find some places to use 3D printers to print the mouthpieces, and I started like that. And so during I remember that at some point I was like working on my mouthpieces alone on that in that fab lab where I was, and I was like thinking that how can you do something like you are alone? How can you be better than some mouthpieces company that have been there for like 100 years? But but yeah, I have that idea that like doing custom thing, like trying to, because the main point was really to have like kind of a dictionary to translate the needs of the musician, and usually the musician will describe the needs with some words and translate that into a mouthpiece, into a geometry. And that I know that nobody have done that before, and I knew that I could do it because I that was my experience. Like I studied like a long time that, and then I met Maxime, and with Maxime it was even better because he was really a specialist on on how to do an experiment, to understand what are the words the musician used to describe a song. So with the acoustics and what we call the psychoacoustics, then we were really able to create SYOS and get like really the science to make better mouthpieces, and mouthpieces that fits each musician needs.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And we have Ben here, and Ben says, actually, that's really young for such an already successful company. Yeah, so you guys have been doing this for probably going to be about 4 years.
Yes.
And, it's such a difficult business, because there's just so many companies already. And as you said, some companies are already more than 100 years old, and it's very hard to change people's minds. And what's even crazier, it's a new concept of 3D printing the mouthpiece. And I'm sure there have been other people who have thought about it, whether they can make 3D printed mouthpieces work. But I guess you guys are the only crazy guys who took the idea all the way. In that sense. Was it tough, when you first let people try, and it's, I'm sure they'll ask you, oh, what material is this? Was it easy to get people to try 3D printed mouthpieces?
It was, it really depends on the people. Like I met a lot of really awesome musicians that just wanted to try because they were curious, and usually when they tried, they really liked them, and now we are still working with them. So with those guys it was easy, but with a lot of other people it was difficult because they thought we were like they didn't believe in us. Like it was like a crazy plastic toy, and they all thought that it couldn't work. So and since I was only using like really bright colors, it was even worse because they didn't want a red mouthpiece. They wanted a black one. So we actually do black now. So if you want a black mouthpiece, that's possible. But at the beginning, it's true that at the beginning I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to start a business if it's the same that someone else. I don't see the point in doing that. So since I wanted to do something different, I did like everything different. Like I used different materials, I used different colors. We had a different kind of business model too, because we decided to mostly sell online, where the other are selling through distributors too. So
okay, yeah, and I think it worked out great, because I think now when anyone sees a bright colored mouthpiece, I think immediately they know it's your company. So I think it turned out great in that sense. Was that a conscious decision? Like you knew you wanted to do that, to be able to let people, see it or market more easily?
I think at the beginning, not really. It's just that I like colors. Like I like having colors around. I like flowers and things. So 3D printing is like a lot of different materials with different colors. So I was like, it's nice and funny to be able to choose your own colors on your mouthpiece too. Why not? So that was the main point at the beginning. But then soon I realized that it was also really interesting because I saw that when a musician was playing with a red or blue mouthpiece, then at the end people were asking what is that, and yeah, I think we wouldn't be where we are now without the color, because it was good for like but for people to notice. So yeah, I guess people noticed us more than another brand because of the color.
Yeah. And I think, the marketing strategies that you guys had were really amazing, coming from someone in Asia, to be able to first hear about your mouthpieces all the way from France. It's not easy. I mean,
Yeah.
any new product, I think the closest that I think of that comes to my mind is probably key leaves. Um,
Yeah.
they've been, same thing. I thought they really exploded, and same thing, the green helps, like it just pops up, but just really, I think it's good products, and then matched with, there's a particular need, for something like this. And we'll talk more about, things like your price point and your marketing strategies as well. So, in the early stages, how did you guys start to get the word out? I mean, I'm sure you started within, France first, so how was that journey? Was it, did you think like, you have to do the trade shows immediately? Did you start doing the trade shows immediately?
No, 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 we didn't really. Or we did some in France, but trade shows are really expensive, and we didn't really feel ready for that.
Mm,
So no, we actually, our first NAM show was 2 years ago. So no,
okay.
actually, yeah, actually, our first NAM show was in 2019. So that was our first, and it was our second this year. And no, we just decided that we wanted to be present on the social networks. So that's how we could be known everywhere in the world. And then we started also to work with famous musicians. And I got my main focus. My main focus was in the United States, actually, because like a lot of really great and famous players live there. So I did a lot of travels there. So I did some travels to New York and Boston mostly. So went to Berkeley and to New York to meet people. And otherwise, I also meet a lot of people when they come to France to play. So that's how we did it.
That's amazing. And we have some of the people watching here. Kiwai from Malaysia, he says the variety of colors is definitely one of the features which distinguishes SYOS from the rest. Spot for choice. Yeah, that's what I hear from a lot of customers as well. They love the colors, but when it's time to choose a color,
Yeah,
that's
then it's complicated.
I know both of us had this conversation before as well. When I was trying to choose a color, it's really tough. And then you can match it with the ligatures as well, which is another headache, for sure. But it's all a good problem. And Ben also says the variety of colors really made him sit up and notice. And considering he's quite traditional, SYOS was quite a huge break away from the conventional. Yeah, I know Ben was keen on the red color Mornington locket. So that's amazing. Yeah, I just think it's such a, it's a great move. And maybe you guys didn't plan for it, right from the start. But man, I think any yellow or red or white mouthpiece nowadays, if people see a player playing, they may not even need to ask anymore. It's almost assumed that that's size. And that's so powerful. I mean, you can have all the other brands that are all hard rubber or all look like metal, there's no way to really tell what a player is using. So I think that's really amazing. And it's so cool to hear that, you guys didn't, jump straight into the trade shows, because for sure, I've heard how expensive they are. And, and so it was only probably like on your third year of opening the company, and then you did your first NAM. So what was the experience like when you went to NAM?
It was crazy. But it was good. It was I really enjoyed it. Usually I'm not really like a trade show person. Like it's not the thing that I prefer. But this NAM I really enjoyed it because people were really nice and they were interested in the company, and we saw a lot of people that already knew about us. So that was nice also to see that. We were kind of famous and and yeah, it's really nice to meet so many good musicians, and yeah, we met a lot of new musicians that we are working with now, so that was good too. We met some distributors too, and it was even better in 2020 because yeah, like it was still more people that came and that knew already SYOS, so it was really nice, and we had a lot of musicians that came to play for us at our booth, so it was really good.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think the last time I was at NAM was probably 2 years ago, so 2018. So
Mm.
probably just missed you guys then.
Yeah, you missed.
Yeah, but I really, I love to look at companies and really research and see, what they are about, what are some of the strategies they use, and then try to apply them in my business. So, and I really thought that, yeah, there's so many things that you guys did, amazing, which is probably why you guys could grow so fast as well. But I wanted to ask you regarding the signature artist models. Was
Mhm.
that something you guys wanted to from the start? Because some people would just called it like, Tommy model or whatever,
Mhm.
just give a name to the model. How did this idea of basing it off an artist signature model as your main models to sell?
So actually, it was really not the plan at the beginning, because the plan was to do only custom mouthpieces. That was why we started SYOS. That's also why the name is SYOS. It means shape your own sound. So it's basically about that.
Mm.
But we had a lot of people asking for the models of the musicians, and there were a lot of, and we also wanted to sell our mouthpieces in some shops, because it's also interesting for people to have somewhere near their home to try them. It's easier than ordering online, and it's complicated to sell a custom mouthpiece in the shop, because you cannot try a custom mouthpiece because it's custom made for you. So and we were working with really great musicians, and we designed great mouthpieces for them, and they really liked them. So at some point we were like, we have some great models there, and they like them, and people are asking for it, so why not? And that's why we decided to release the artist model too.
So
And
right from the
yeah,
start,
and
was it
oh,
all
sorry.
custom models? Sorry. Yeah. At the beginning, it was just custom models
Yes.
only. For how long was that? Like the first few years?
Yes, from 2016 to the end of 2018, so yeah, 2 years.
Oh,
Mm.
wow, that's really interesting. Like, did you see the sales go up more once you started doing the artist models?
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
because the artist model was it was cheaper, and it was easiest to sell, because the issue was the custom is really good, but it's good for people that really know what they want, and most of the people, especially beginners, they don't really know what they want, and they don't really know how to describe it. So then it was complicated, and they didn't feel right asking for it. So I think a lot of people were worried about ordering a custom mouthpieces, because they didn't really know how to express themselves and what they really wanted. But now it's easier, because someone someone is coming and say, yeah, I want a mouthpiece that is really bright and powerful, and on the tenor, for example. So then we can just give really easy advice, like if you want to play pop music with a really bright mouthpiece, then you should go for the Scott Paddock model, for example. And it's easier than say, okay, we will do a custom mouthpiece for you, but what do you think about the high register, and what do you want, something like that. So then it's easier. And on the shop, we can sell the models. It's easier too, because otherwise it was completely it's really, really complicated.
Yeah, that's so cool. I'm gonna share some comments here as well. And here we have Ben, and Ben is giving a suggestion. He says if he may suggest that potential customers can send in their favorite color codes, and SYOS could maybe make a mouthpiece in their customized color. Would that be possible? Like any color?
It's interesting. That's where we are now. We are actually working on that. So so right now we are buying our material from a company, and they have their own colors, and we cannot choose it. And we don't want to be dependent anymore on those on this company, because if they have any trouble or something, and they actually start doing some colors, so that's why we had to change some colors on the website, because, for example, the orange, it just disappeared. They didn't really warn us, they just start making it. So we were like, we don't have any orange anymore, so that was not really good. So now, right now, we are working on our own materials. So we are working with some laboratories to design our own materials, so we will be also able to choose our own colors. So that's what we are doing now. So we hope we will have like new SYOS colors by the end of the year. And for just one customer with one color, it's complicated, because it takes some time to get. It's not that easy to add the pigments on the materials. It takes a lot of time to get the good colors. So I'm not sure that would be possible, but maybe what would be possible, and I think that's what we will do, is having like the main SYOS color, and then sometimes ordering some a new color that would be like for just a few months. Like we order like I don't know, like 10 kilos of material, and then when it's out, it's finished. It's finished. So then we could release at some point some new colors.
Okay, that would be cool, like some limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition. That's
color,
that's
you
what
know?
I wanted to say.
I'm just wondering, in this process that you use, is it ever possible to have a marbled finish, like two colors mixed in, like a marble?
So yeah, so not at the moment, because the machine we are using are just, they can just work with one color at a time. But it's the same. So we are while we are working on new materials, we are also working on new machines. So it's possible that with the new machines, I can't tell you now, because it's not sure, and we haven't choose the new machine. But it may be possible at some point to have like maybe two colors. So maybe not marbling, but maybe a logo in another color or something like that. But that's we are still investigating that.
Cool, that's awesome. And Vincent says he would love a teal color on a SYOS. So we'll see what happens down the road. And Amira, hi Amira. She also says teal would look really nice. And I see Ben asked, maybe SYOS can have a tool like a color palette on their website where customers can drag a mouse click around and find the right color codes of their liking.
That would be cool, but yeah, as I said, it's complicated, and we cannot also have an infinite amount of colors, because it's actually a lot of logistics to make a lot of different mouthpieces. like every time it's a different model with a different color. So then it's a big that's also why we take some time to, when you order mouthpiece, it takes some time before we can ship, because we need to print the mouthpiece, and it's actually not easy, like, to handle all the logistics of the different colors and different models and everything. So we cannot have like an infinite number of colors, or at least not with that machine. I know that there is some 3D printing that can print any color code, but it's a different type of machine.
Yeah, I can imagine the logistics nightmare, when you have too many colors. And I
Yeah.
think I'm going to get that question in the shop very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's, when customers ask, are you going to bring in every single color and I can try all of them, and I'll always be honest with them, it's very difficult,
Yeah.
to stock every color and every tip opening and every artist model, it's going to
Yeah,
be.
then you have thousands. It's
Yeah, it's just crazy, But I guess the good thing is, we can work directly with the customers to say like, okay, you like this mouthpiece, but you want a different color, we'll get it in
yeah,
for you.
that's possible.
So
Sure.
that's what we did on this first batch, not to bring in 1,000 on the first order. So, and we have Feng from Vietnam, so we have quite a wide variety of countries, people from all over Asia watching. Feng says, I love metal mouthpieces because they feel smaller and more comfortable than the hard rubber ones. Have you thought of making pieces with thinner, more streamlined profiles like metal mouthpieces?
Yeah, we actually did at the beginning. If you watch, for example, we have an artist named, it's Norwegian, is Jørgen Munkeby, and he has a small that is a thinner. But at some point we realized that with our material, a thin mouthpiece is really thin, especially if you want a large chamber. So then you don't have really a lot of material, and then we were afraid that the mouthpiece will be too not resistant enough. So that's why we decided we would keep just the standard hard rubber design, because it was more resistant, and yeah.
Yeah, so I think I asked that question a few months ago as well, So yeah, but thanks for sharing about that from Feng. And yeah, Ben is saying special edition colors. I think that's what you mentioned just now. It'd be fun to
Yeah,
do
maybe
as
that would be
well.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I hope we can do that at some point.
yeah, and it's fun, and then people will really treasure it, because it's a limited
Yeah.
run item. So that's
Yeah, we
super.
can maybe ask people to vote for their favorite color for the special
That would
edition.
be that would be very nice. We have Raina here. So Raina says, "Hi Pauline, nice to meet you. Just wondering if you can make multiple colors on the mouthpiece like flags. Just an idea." So I think just now a bit earlier we spoke about this. So
Yeah, like we say that maybe 2 colors at some point, but it's not sure yet. So, but yeah, once we will be settled on our new machines, and maybe we can also work on special edition, limited edition of maybe metal mouthpieces or other type of material. The thing is, it's really expensive to work with 3D printing in metal, for example. So that would definitely be an expensive mouthpiece. So that's why we don't want that as our main product. But for some special edition, maybe, yeah.
wow, that would be cool. I never knew 3D printing could be done with metal. I always thought it's with
Yes. Yeah,
plastic.
actually, we did it. We have one musician in France who recorded an album with a 3D printed metal mouthpiece that we did for him. But yeah, it's really expensive. So that's why we didn't really put our focus on that, because we prefer to have like a regular price that was affordable
Yeah.
for like everyone. But
Mm.
yeah, once we will have time. So I say that every time, but we have too many things to do. But yeah, I hope we can work on that at some point. Yeah.
Just curious, how much would a mouthpiece that is metal 3D printed, like today, if you had to sell one, how much would it have to cost to the customer?
To the customer, I guess around 500 euros, something like that.
Okay, it's not that crazy, but yeah, it's
It's
definitely
more, yeah, it's like the
yeah.
double of the price
Okay.
we have now. Yeah, at
Okay,
least.
okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. Um, let's say Ben, yeah, it's like, yeah, Ben says he never knew about 3D printing with metal as well. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, definitely learned something new today. And I think I saw you guys did some special limited edition mouthpieces with like rocket fins and all. Is
Oh
that
yeah, the
something?
rocket. Yeah,
I'm not sure if those of you who are not sure what we're talking about. I think you can search online. I think you made a few.
yeah.
Those look really cool. Would that
Mhm.
be something that could be rolled out more in the future, like with
Yes.
unique designs as well?
Yes, yes, it's also something we want to work on. Like, yeah, we had a lot of requests for the rocket mouthpiece, so we may release it for like a regular normal mouthpiece in a few months. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, cool. I think now might be a good time to not take as many questions. So you still can keep your questions coming in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and share this link with more friends who are interested in saxophone mouthpieces. But I think what would be nice now is for me to play through some of the models,
Yeah.
and so people can hear the sound. And I think what would be nice is I'll start off with my tenor, and I actually have here a custom mouthpiece that you made for me, which is really, really beautiful. And I think this one is actually supposed to be even brighter than the Scott Paddock
Yeah.
model. Yeah, so I'm going to start from bright, and then we can work our way backwards down towards the more mellow ones, which I have behind here. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys have a listen to the sound. So give me a minute. Let me just get my. So this is actually a really nice color, and I think only recently you brought back this color, right? This
Yes.
baby blue. Yeah, I really, really like it. So this one is actually a higher baffle than the Scott Paddock, which is currently your brightest tenor mouthpiece. So this one is a size 8 or 8 star. It's an 8 star, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna play a bit of each mouthpiece so you guys can hear the sound for yourself. Yeah, so that was a custom model, which is brighter than the Scott Paddock model. And one thing I like is it's really it still has a warm sound. When I want to play it more relaxed, and definitely really powerful for pop, funk type of music. So that's the brightest one. And let me change and get something just one notch down, but currently still the brightest mouthpiece. I think that is the Scott Paddock model. And I have it in the red that he likes. So this is a size 8. Okay, let's play a bit of this. All right, that was the Scott Paddock model. So yeah, just a bit warmer, but still a very nice, bright pop mouthpiece. And I'm gonna play one model down. And I think the next one down should be the Chet Lefkowitz Brown model. Oh, we still have the Mornington Lockett model. Okay, let me play that before I forget. So Pauline, would you say the Mornington Lockett or the Scott Paddock is brighter?
I think the Mornington Lockett is brighter, but the thing is, when Mornington plays it, it plays really dark with it. So people really, usually when they see the video, they're like, really, it's the brightest mouthpiece. So that's why I will advise more for the Scott Paddock, because when you hear Scott play, you can hear the sound you can get with the mouthpiece more than with the Mornington Lockett.
True. Yeah. And I guess everyone's embouchure is different. Their playing style is different. So yeah. I think most importantly is to try it for yourself also, so go down for those who are watching overseas, find where the nearest shop that stocks these mouthpieces are, and then you can try them. And of course, I think down the road, I'm going to be doing videos that I'll post on YouTube as well, that people can really watch and rewind, So this is the Mornington Lockett. So let's see how it sounds like. Right, so that was the Mornington Lockett version. So those who are watching, do let me know if the sound sounds good. What I'm doing is just totally without reverb, so you can hear the core essence of the sound. And of course, I'm using the same reed for every single mouthpiece. So of course, you will want to find the right reed to suit the mouthpiece. And now I'm gonna jump to the Scott Paddock model. The Chet Lefkowitz Brown model. So this is really popular. So I think, and this is probably one of your best sellers currently. Right. Right, so that was the Chet Lefkowitz Brown. And I think I have a few more here that are slightly darker. I have the Tivon Pennicott model in yellow, and he's such an amazing player. And I think for people who like a slightly, warmer sound, but still being able to project well, I think this would be the one I'm going to recommend. So this, I got it here in a size 7, which is a bit smaller than what I usually play, but, just wanted to let you guys hear the sound. Yeah, so that one definitely had a darker sound, and just makes me feel like playing in a different way. So actually, I just remembered I was supposed to have. I brought in this model by was it Daro Beruzzi? I hope I got his name correct. And it was a really nice mouthpiece, but it got sold already, so I don't have it here. I need to get more. Even before, literally on the first day it arrived, we sold 2 pieces right on that day, and so that is a really interesting design as well. Not something you would find on a normal. I think it's a smaller chamber, but there isn't a step baffle, if I remember.
Yeah, no, it's we say it rollover. It's not exactly rollover. There is like a really small bump at the beginning, and then it's a curved baffle, but it's really powerful, but without being too bright. So it's a really interesting mouthpiece.
Yeah, really interesting. And actually, it was bought by one of my students who actually was currently playing a smaller tip opening mouthpiece. And I didn't think, because I brought it in a size 8, which is what Daro plays it in. And I didn't think that, my student would like it. So that was actually the last piece that I recommended him. And he was like, oh, what's that green piece? I was like, oh, you can try it. I don't think you will like it, but you can try it. And he played it and he fell in love immediately. He was like, this size 8 plays so much easier than his size 6, which I was shocked, if the same read, that usually doesn't happen. But in the end, he left with that piece out of every piece, So, I think lesson learned is, for you guys who want to try, I think you got to try everything. Like, honestly, playing through all those, there are some that maybe suit this read better than others. And, we have to match it to our instrument as well. So you have to try all of them, and then see what you think after that. So Ben says here that I do sound a tad bit brighter on the Scott Paddock model. Yeah, I definitely can feel that, and, I didn't want to play something just so crazy. I wanted to let you guys hear the core sound, but, for sure, the Scott Paddock model can definitely go really, really bright. And Ben says it sounds good, clear, and precise. Thank you so much. I'm using my usual microphone, so that I wanted to let you guys hear all these differences. Ben says it sounds like you were at ease playing this model, the Chet Lefkowitz Brown. How did it feel? Yeah, it's nice actually. And then funnily, before this, I was actually in love with the Mornington Lockett model. But just today, I think if I was playing through all, it didn't feel the most comfortable to me. And then when I played the Chet Lefkowitz Brown, yeah, I think everything was nice. It's probably the match of the reed. Like, I wouldn't recommend people to use the same reed as what they've been using and keep trying so many different pieces on it. So I think, you have to have several different reeds around. I'm using a Maca reed, which I love. They're from France as well.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, maybe you guys should consider partnering or
we
collaborating.
we actually did one time, like it was last year. We did an offer, like we put a free box of marker reeds with each mouthpiece, and it
Wow.
was nice. Yeah.
Wow, that would be really cool. Yeah, I love these reads, and yeah, I've been playing the American vintage model. So yeah, the Chet Lefkowitz Brown was definitely very nice. I think, if I was choosing a piece, it may not be my favorite out of
Mhm.
the lot. I think I really like the custom one that I have here, or maybe the Scott Paddock. It really gives a nice range. But yeah, it's most important that you guys come and try. But yeah, definitely very, very good questions. And I'm gonna play, I think I prepared one last one here. And it's actually the Dan Forshaw model, which I think, Pauline, this is probably one of your darkest models.
Yes.
Mm. So I watched a lot of his videos on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
So let's see. Like, this mouthpiece will probably not be the one I would choose, but it's definitely still gonna be quite nice. So let's listen to this.
Yeah, you sound good on it.
Yeah, it actually makes me feel like playing, like Stan Getz. It has that
Yeah.
that old school sound, which is really fun. And I think that's what I love about just having a nice variety of mouthpieces. So I,
Mhm.
I can easily say, if you guys have a particular model that a particular sound that you're thinking of, I'm quite sure one of the SYOS mouthpieces, one of the artist models will definitely
Yeah.
fit the bill. So definitely come and try them for yourself. Ben says the red looks good on my tenor. Yeah, it's definitely a cool color, and I really love all these variety of colors. But yeah, I still really like this custom model. So, and the great thing is, let's say if someone tries the Dan Forshaw model, and let's say they want it even darker, for example, they can always do a custom model. So, Pauline, how does the customization work? They just email you, or of course through us, but you know, how would they try to describe it to you to get that final product?
So if people have already tried the mouthpieces, it's nice because they can just give us some feedback about each one of the mouthpiece they try, and so from all those feedback, we're able to make a different model. Like it was funny, for example, for the mouthpiece of Insane in the Rain, Carlos
Mm,
saying. He actually tried the Chad models and the Michael Wilbur model, and
mm,
he liked them both, but he wanted something in between. So we work on that, and the first mouthpiece we did was the perfect one for him, and so that's what we did. But if you haven't tried any mouthpiece before, then we have a questionnaire online where you describe the sound you want. So you have to give some ratings about your brightness and the power,
mm,
and describe the kind of music you play, and also talk a little
mm.
bit about your current mouthpiece. So that helps us. Usually, I like to have feedback on your current mouthpiece to know what you are playing and what's good on that mouthpiece and what you would like to improve. So from that, we are able to work on a model for you. And so then we send them the mouthpiece, and the musician has 30 days to try it. And if the musician feels that something needs to be improved, that something isn't right, or I don't know, if he feels that the mouthpiece isn't bright enough, for example, then we have a feedback form that you can fill, and from those feedback we will design a new model for the musician. So that's how we work.
So let's say after 30 days I play it and I still want to make more changes. Do I have to pay a bit more to have more changes being made?
So if it's within 30 days, it's included in the custom package, so you can recreate any changes. If it's after 30 days, yeah, normally you have to just ask for a new custom mouthpiece. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. And yeah, so for those of you who are watching, hope you found it useful to hear through some of the models, and you can see the variety of sounds that can be produced. And I think, Pauline, I'm sure another question you get a lot is from people when they play is some people maybe are new to the sound of a mouthpiece being created through 3D printing. But I think you've written some articles about this as well. How important is the material, compared to the internal design of the mouthpiece?
So when you study the acoustics, usually you will say that if the material is hard enough, so then it reflects the waves, then it doesn't matter on the sound. So then what's important for the sound is the internal geometry of the mouthpiece. So that's why you can definitely get a really bright sound that is usually the sound of the metal mouthpiece with a plastic mouthpiece, because it's all about the internal design. Then maybe it can be confusing at first, because the mouthpiece won't vibrate exactly the same inside the mouth. So then it's possible that you inside your head you will hear maybe a different sound that if it would be metal or hard rubber. But from the outside, like, people will not hear the difference if you play with different material. Actually, there is an interesting article about Steve Neff on his blog where he played two different mouthpieces that are the same but with two different material, and then he made people vote. It was a blind test, so people could hear the different musical extracts and then vote if it was metal or hard rubber mouthpieces. And it's interesting because nobody could really find which one was which. So.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned was true. I think to the player, like, I can feel, like in my mouth that, probably the resonance, the way it vibrates is not the same as hard rubber or metal. There's just a different feel. But
Yeah.
For me, I'm totally fine. I don't care if a mouthpiece is wood or in whatever material, as long as it plays well. So I think, importantly, sometimes the crazy world of saxophones is people just like to read forums. They like to read articles and watch videos. And to me, I feel like this is something that people really need to try, and hopefully not come to a conclusion before they even try.
That's true.
It's
That's true.
almost like self-fulfilling. You tell yourself, no, it can't be better than rubber, or no, it can't be better than metal. Then you don't even give it a chance. And I think for me, as a player, I don't chase every new mouthpiece, but I like to try them, if I get the chance to. sometimes I either pick them up secondhand if it's at a good price, or when something new, and and you'll be surprised. Like, I just had a open mind, and I tried it, and I thought they're really good and at a really good price point as well. Nowadays, people can charge ridiculous prices for mouthpiece, and I think, there's something in our shop that we like to do is really to work with companies that we feel 100%, for. There's some companies that, if actually, if I can't see myself, realistically spending that much on a mouthpiece, I think these companies it's really hard for us to stand by it and bring them into the shop, so I think price point is definitely important. So maybe for those who are watching, you can let us know in the comments, like, have you guys tried any 3D printed mouthpieces, and what are your thoughts? And for those who want to try, you can let us know as well. Actually, Vincent brought in a good point. So this is Vincent from Singapore. He says he enjoyed the SYOS Freak sale a while back. How often do SYOS encounter some blemish during printing, and any similarly planned sales at fixed intervals?
Actually, we improved our production, so we don't have so many problem right now. We still have some. It's it's always a matter of 3D printing. Sometimes we have some burns on the mouthpieces or some little defects. So unfortunately, it's not planned for this year because we don't have enough, and but maybe we will do one next year. I don't know. It's not planned yet anyway.
Actually, Pauline, we wouldn't even be having this conversation if it wasn't for Vincent, because it was actually Vincent who told me about your Halloween freaks.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, when Vincent texted me, I'm like, no, I've had enough. My whole life my whole shop is just filled with mouthpieces already. So I was like, no, enough mouthpieces, and although it was a really good deal, and I think after a while, Vincent asked me one more time. He was like, hey, I'm going to order already, and they're running out. You sure you don't want to order? I was like, no. Then after a while, I thought, and I went to research, and that was the first time I really, I think I've seen you guys pop up here and there, but that was the first time I went in, and I was like, okay, the price point is pretty reasonable, so I think I shocked Vincent a bit or so, because I think I ordered like 15 pieces. Like,
yeah, I think you got like 3 or 4 bucks. I was like, oh, who is that guy?
I think I got 4 boxes of tenor and 1 box of soprano. So I was like, then, from telling Vincent that I was not going to buy anything to texting Vincent that, hey, by the way, guess how many boxes did I buy? Because I thought, okay, why not? Since it was a good deal, so I was just gonna try, and then I was pleasantly surprised because all those pieces were great. I would say, except the soprano mouthpieces, I think the tip opening is a bit bigger than what I would normally play, but they still played great, and it was really nice. I think Vincent got like 2 boxes of alto mouthpieces or so. So I really liked it, and one of them, the Mornington Locket, I was playing until like probably a few months ago. Before I got this batch in, and yeah, they all played great, so yeah, funny how, one thing leads to another. And so thank you, Vincent, for introducing me.
Yeah, thank you, Vincent. That was nice.
Yeah, maybe you owe him a mouthpiece already.
Yeah.
Owe him a gift. Yeah, but nowadays, I think after that, I told myself, sure, I don't mind trying. And sometimes in the shop as well, a lot of people ask us, to send us emails, hey, would you like to be a dealer? And if we haven't played one before, it's really hard. And actually, when I was at NAMM, of course, I go and try all the mouthpieces and meet people. So there was actually one company, I'm not going to name the name. I played his mouthpieces and I really didn't like it, and I just told the guy straight up, because the maker was in front of me, and he gave me like an attitude, like immediately, as though like, how can you not like my mouthpieces? I'm like, I've played thousands of mouthpieces, and I'm just letting you know that something doesn't feel right, like. And so then, funny enough, after a while, he emailed me again. He was like, "Hey, are you interested to stock it in your shop?" I'm like, I'm the guy who told you that your pieces don't play great. And it's like, oh, I remember. But now my pieces are much better. Would you like to sell it? I said, I can't just, stock every brand that asks us. It's really difficult. So yeah, and surprisingly, in the end, he sent me 2 mouthpieces, and it was pretty good, but it's I think being a shop, we gotta draw the line somewhere as well. I have to think, okay, will my customers, firstly, do I love it, and then do my customers love it? How's the price point? So I think we say no to a lot of brands, because I just feel like, even if we sell one a year, it's really no point. So I think I'm really glad we started stocking your products, and it's just gonna add a lot of variety for the customers. I think ultimately, I don't like to tell people what to get. I just hear from them, and tell them all the various possibilities within that price range or within that sound that they like. But yeah, one thing I'm just really happy is now, my aim is not, just to say I'm going to sell more SYOS mouthpieces. I think, as a shop owner, what I try to do is like, I'm just going to give you my fair opinion. Everything we sell here is great, and just try them, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, and I think the price point that you guys have is amazing. And I love I think having that Halloween sale, I think that was a great, marketing move as well. Did you hear from a lot of people that told you they tried your mouthpieces for the first time during that sale as well?
Yeah, actually, I was when we did the sale, I was a little worried because it's always difficult to sell that mouthpiece that are not perfect. So we were really careful by explaining everything, like telling why we were selling those, and because it was better to sell it for like a really small price than just throw them away, because they were like not really the kind of ugly, but they played well. And then I was worried that people wouldn't like them because we didn't really give the choice, so it was like kind of random sale. But it was crazy, like we sold everything in 2 hours, and people were really 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 pleasantly surprised. So yeah, it was nice. Like we had a lot of good comments from people, and I realized that we got a lot of new customers from that sales, because people that wanted to try but didn't want to put like $200 on the mouthpiece, then they just bought the freak sales, and they try 3, and it was and then they found that it was great and ordered a new one after, so it was good.
That was really good. Yeah. And Vincent says he just got 1 box, and he said he wished he could get the medium box. So
I guess the medium, like the medium tip opening, we sold them in like 30 minutes. So after it was like just really small tip opening or really big. So
yeah, of course, I can imagine. Wow, but 2 hours is quite crazy. Oh, we have Cole, Mr. Saxman here. Hi, brother, from Thailand. Cole, Mr. Saxman, he has a shop called Sex Society. So,
nice.
Brother Cole, I'm
Hello.
definitely going to talk to you about SYOS mouthpieces. And he's a great friend, great musician, and we work together, both our shops as well. So definitely going to be talking to him about these as well. So guys, let me know if you have any other questions. Wow, it's almost been 1.5 hours, so time really, really flies. So maybe I also could ask Pauline, what are the upcoming plans that we could look out for with SYOS, let's say the rest of this year?
So we have the bass clarinet coming out like in July. So if you are a bass clarinet player, you can can come, and we have really nice new mouthpieces. So we will release the custom one first, and then we will have a few different signature models on the bass clarinet too.
And now you already have clarinet mouthpieces, right?
Yeah, we already have clarinet mouthpieces, custom or a few signature models too. So we hope to this year to also increase the number of signature models. So actually, if you know some great clarinet players in Asia and that want to try SYOS, so we would be happy to work with them too.
Cool.
And yeah, so then I told you like we are working on new materials, new machines. So that's also our main focus for this year. And yeah, after we will have new products, but it's a surprise for now.
Yeah, cool. Are you guys always looking to get more artist models for saxophone? Is that something you're always looking to add, or is going to be these few models for a while?
It's complicated because we always want to have more artists, and it's always nice to have new signature models. Then it's a lot of models, but we are also working on a new interface on the website. So we work on some filters, so it would be easier to choose and to navigate into all the signature models because we have a lot right now, especially on tenor. So yeah, when you arrived and you have all those models, it's maybe not so easy to choose. So with those filters, I think it would be better. So we are working on that.
Cool. Sounds good. Let me scroll through. All right. I think we don't have any new questions, but what you guys can do is, I know SYOS has a YouTube channel as well, so you can check out their YouTube channel. Tons of videos there, and I know you have a lot of great videos because you have a lot of artists that I think come by Paris, like Joshua Redman. You have off my head, just amazing, great musicians. And maybe if they, even though they aren't playing that as their main mouthpiece, but you guys get to hear these, so many amazing artists. So you can find all those videos on their YouTube channel as well. Do subscribe to it, as well as on Instagram, Facebook. You can definitely follow what they're up to, and if they have any special, limited edition stuff, you guys can
you can subscribe to the newsletter, so you can be aware of all the new sales and stuff we have so far. So we have some surprise for the summer too, so yeah, you should subscribe.
Nice. Yeah, I did leave a link to their website in the description of this YouTube video here, so do check it out. And for those of you who want to purchase, you can definitely look for our shop. If you are new, you can look for us also, SAXO SG, on all the social media platforms, and on YouTube as well. A lot more videos, and I'm definitely going to be putting out a lot more comparison videos because there's just so many new SYOS mouthpieces. So for soprano, alto, tenor currently. And yeah, come down and try. I think this weekend is going to be quite busy, and I'm going to try my best to not sell too many, because actually my idea with these were to have them just as a demo model in that sense, so people try them and then I can order a new one in for them. But I had customers who just wanted it straight away, so I just sold it first. So yeah, come down and try. And if you guys want any custom models, you can go through us as well. We can give you some advice and then help you to place the order as well. So yeah, I think that's a wrap for today's session. Thank you so much, Pauline, for your time.
Thank you.
And we hope we can keep in touch again and maybe do another one, down the road to see.
Yeah, if you want. And I hope when we have plans and when we can move again in another countries to come and say hello and bring a lot of mouthpieces for people to try.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and I hope, I haven't been to France in many years. The last time I went was just for like a week, so hopefully, can people, let's say if they are going to be passing by France, is your showroom open to the public?
Yeah, definitely. They should. The best is to call or send an email to take an appointment, because we
Mm,
prefer like to
of
have
course.
one-on-one people
Mm,
to try. But yeah, you can come. We will be happy to
mm.
see you.
That's awesome. So whoever is going by France, we don't know when when international travel will be possible. But yeah, cool. Thank you so much once again, and we'll see you guys at the next show. Okay. So thank you and have
Thank
a good
you.
time. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.